Kina, can you hear me okay?
Yes. Oh,
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Pacific Islander Health Board Talk Story. Queena, you're the host when Tara is not here. I'm Lika. I'm doing tech and I'm in the background. And with me is Queena from the Health Board. And Renata, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Renita Mulkey. I am a certified professional midwife working on my Washington State licensure. I'm also a womb healer and everything around women and infant health advocate.
Awesome. We are so excited to have you. And I see that Dr. Tara is back on. So I will go back to doing tech. Bye, everyone. And happy
Thanks,
Tuesday.
Lisa. Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm having technical difficulties, so I'm gonna close my laptop and then we're gonna just have a talk story. Aloha and welcome to Own Your Glow tonight. This is amazing. So we have Kina here from the Pacific Islander Health Board and midwife Renita Mulkey from Rainier Valley Midwives, also personal friend of mine. We went to school together, known each other for close to 15 years now. As we embarked on our midwifery journey together. And I'm your perinatal educator from the Pacific Islander Health Board. I'm Dr. Tara Lawal. And we're going to just own our glow and talk about this a little bit. Um, can we? I just wanted to start off with what love begins for, what love is for you all. And we believe that love begins within. And so I'm going to ask you these questions. Renita, when you hear love begins within, what does that feel for you? Or and how does that resonate with you?
Hmm, yeah. Um, the things that come straight to my mind is the concept of transparency to yourself so that you can be transparent to others, self respect, um, and um, an absolute sense of peace no matter what is happening in the world.
Yeah. Ooh, that's powerful. Especially in our world today where it feels like it's so chaotic. And then being able to find your own inner peace through chaos is our ultimate goal. Um,
Mhm.
Kina, what about you as a Pacific woman? What what does it feel like in your body when how do you recognize when you need more love within for yourself?
for me personally, as a Pacific Islander, to love myself,
Kina,
I
we can't hear you. Am I missing? Renita, did you hear
I can,
her?
I can hear her.
I
I think it's her internet
only
going out.
only Dr. Tara.
It's my internet. Okay, let me change my. I'm gonna turn off my internet.
Okay, as a Pacific Islander, I find myself to love myself, being accepting myself in my own body, having self respect, having value for my community, and knowing who I am, so that I can better love myself.
Mm.
Kina, can you say something again? I'm not sure I can hear you.
Yes, Tara. Okay, I think we're having some technical difficulties. Tara and Renetta.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to reschedule
Oh,
or come back. So we can do that. Sorry, everyone. This is gonna be an amazing conversation, but Renita has some amazing things to help you with self care. There she is. Hey.
Hey.
All right. So, anyway, sorry about all this. Quila, do you have all the questions and some ideas?
yes. So, let me check. So, self care is control. What cultural teachings or familiar traditions have shaped how you care for your body or well being? So, Renita, if you care to share with us some of the things, it's just like,
Yes. Um, so, yeah, yeah, a little about myself is so I'm originally from Washington, D.C., by way of North Carolina, by way of Georgia. So all of my families coming together. So everyone from the southeast, who by way of Western Africa, um, right? So a lot of traditions actually um, stayed within the family without having a name of the origin. It instantly became just what we did. It was never talked about. It was taught by action, by what we did. Um, so, an example is the concept of being in a village. How, with my family, we all lived not too far from each other, but my cousins and I lived at different aunts and uncles and at grannies at different times. And I just grew up thinking that that's just what we did, that family was this huge thing. And I felt a sense of protection. Um, and so the basis of self care is that you can do all the things of self care if you feel safe to do that, safe to express yourself, um, safe to ask questions. So there was times where um, I had menstrual pain severely as a young teen. My mother didn't have that. Um, and so when I was going through, I remember hearing her picking up the phone, calling my granny, and I can hear my granny's voice telling her exactly what to do. Go get the hot water bottle, um, giving me herbal teas, specific blends, um, the sense of letting me rest at this point of my cycle, that you don't go, go, go. And that because we live in this village, because we're all in a team, um, we can take on everybody's responsibilities at different times, so that we're not burning ourselves out.
I love that. I agree. Sharing responsibility is love. Um, wow. Tara, are you back and connected?
I think so. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I had to like
Yes.
find I had to find a third device. So, so let me see if this works. Um, Thank you for sharing, and also, Renita's very good at stepping in for me, and so that's part of what she's just demonstrating what it means to be part of our village of helping each other out, and I appreciate that so much. Um, can we just jump into the meat of what we're talking about today? And the reason we brought Renita here, um, Renita, do you want to tell us about your background and your training, and why we celebrate V Day? What is V Day, and how do you, um, yeah, why do you love what you do?
Absolutely, yes. So, I mentioned earlier that I love and do things, everything around women and children as an advocate. And that started really, really young. Um, and my first experience with actually having a pap smear was at the tender age of 18. I have no idea why my college had that on the health form for me to complete. Um, my mother had, so I was seeing a pediatrician. So of course my mother said, like, let's go to my doctor's office. He was a family practitioner, but then he happened to go on vacation. And so his partner, who's in internal medicine, hates anything to do with vaginas. And he ends up having to do my exam. And it was the most terrifying and traumatic experience of my
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Um, he was very harsh. It was painful. He didn't take his time. He didn't talk me through it. And even the nurse who was in the room chaperoning was holding my hand and giving me that look like she knew this was going to happen.
mm,
And she didn't speak up, but she was just, I will be there for you through it. And I'm sorry, baby, that you're going through this. Uh,
no,
and I remember when he leaves the room and they're telling me to get dressed, I remember sitting up and in that moment saying, I do not want this to happen to anyone else.
yeah,
Um, so I had already determined going into college that I was going to be a biology pre-med major. Um, the creator and the universe and my ancestors were laughing at me. Um, and I went in to become a volunteer in a labor delivery unit in a hospital. And to volunteer there, they train you to what 10 years later I find out is to become a doula. I had no idea that's what I was doing, but that's what I was doing. And supporting women, young women who, incidentally, there's this hospital who's supposed to be for everyone and support everyone in every stage of life and experiences. But if you're a drug addict, you don't get the support that you should get. Um, if you're a young teen mom, um, you are disregarded. And so there was this sense of advocacy about young women having pain that they never heard about, they never knew to expect. They're having different things going on with their body that they didn't know. And so fast forward, because I can talk about this stuff for hours. Fast forward, I had an experience as an intern at an organization. It was an HIV education organization where my supervisor um, was pregnant, and she says she's having a home birth. Um, I thought she was absolutely crazy because nobody I knew had home births. And the only midwives I knew of were in the Bible. And so she invited me and the director of the program to come over on the day of her birth. Um, it was absolutely different from what I saw in the hospital. And the peace that you felt, it's not even the words or the actions necessarily, it's the spirit of the space and holding of the space that you felt coming into the room. Um, and I introduced to the first midwife I've ever met, and it's this beautiful Black woman. And the first thought is like, wait, wait a second. The person giving the birth is a Black woman. The midwife is a Black woman. And I'm like, wait a minute, we do this? This is not history. We didn't do this. We do this. We didn't, and present tense. And we do this in a way that respects our bodies, ourselves, respects our future, respects our ancestors, and respects ourselves in the present. And it's like, how do I do this? And, it takes me some time to get there. Um, and later on, I go on to be trained by um, the um, a program called Preconception Peer Educator. So I find out that at that particular time in the southeast of the United States, that Black children had the highest infant mortality rate in that region. And it was like, why is this happening? And then the more I research, it's like, no, but women are dying as well too, no matter their education, no matter their income. And it's like, wait, what is happening? And then um, I started working in doctor offices. I became a gynecological teaching associate, going to medical schools, nursing schools, and sexual assault nurse examiner programs to teach people how to give trauma informed well person exams, um, how to recognize that anybody on your table, anybody in your presence could have had a traumatic experience. And even if they did, you shouldn't be the one to give them that first experience. Um, and fast forward, so I graduated from midwifery school March of 2024. I have been working at Rainier Valley Midwives, um, the joy of my life, really right now, since December 18th, 2023, to be exact. Working with our village program. But in the midst of all of that, I have a dear aunt who did not tell me what specifically was going on in her life. And the last time I saw her, I went home back to DC, and she had an impromptu party for me because that's what we do. We celebrate each other, and this is on my father's side, and bringing all my uncles and cousins, and we're having a good time, and she's laughing. And a few months later, while I'm back in Seattle, um, I get a call one morning from one of my cousins to say that uh, the doctors had called them to say that they don't know how long my aunt was going to live. And I was confused. What do you mean? Um, So I'm like, well, I'm hanging up. I'm calling your mom because she was on the way to the hospital. And by the time I called her mom, she said we walked into the hospital and they called to say that my aunt had passed away. And turns out she passed away from cervical cancer. Um, and it was her second bout of the cancer because she went through chemo um, a few years prior and it came back. And as a midwife, um, I know that cervical cancer, you don't have to die of cervical cancer. And that people of color, people of the global majority, especially in the Western world, tend to die more than white people in this society. And it's like, why are you dying from something that is preventable? Um, and so beyond birth work, um, which has been the majority of my life, it has and so, side note, I'm also a massage therapist and a Reiki practitioner. I wear many hats. um, Much of my work for many years had been about womb health. So, persons having fibroids, cysts, infertility issues, PCOS, working with them as not an alternative, but a complementary um, practice to help them resolve their issues. And so, knowing that there are so many people who don't know that you don't have to die, um, you actually don't have to get a disease, but they don't know, and you can't do the things that you need to protect yourself, to love yourself, um, if you don't have the resources, the knowledge, and the support. Um, so, January was cervical cancer awareness month. And so there was this conversation with another midwife at RVM, Benta, and we were talking about wanting to be able to reach out to the broader community, especially the community uh, that is being unheard and unhelped and under resourced, to provide them with the education, the love, and the support um, to understand how to love their womb, how to love their yoni, how to love themselves. Um, and she, as a midwife, Benta, was talking about the experiences of being at other places where they had what they call V Day. So V is for victory, V is for Valentine, V is for vagina. So we're like, yes. So we're having the event the day before Valentine's Day. Um, and we want people to come out to get their cervical cancer screenings, to get their breast cancer screenings, to learn to know how to love themselves. And so a lot of the self breast exams um, and other self awareness is around finding something that's wrong. We don't want to teach you to find something that is wrong. We want to teach you how to know yourself, to know your body, and to know and love what is right. Because when you know what is right, what is wonderful, what is beautiful about yourself, then you know when something is off. And then you will know, because you do love yourself, that you're going to go and seek that help. And if you're not heard, if you are being dismissed, then you know that that's not the person for you, that's not the provider for you. And you need to go and find the provider that is right for you. Um, and so yes, so we're gonna learn about the womb. We're gonna learn about yoni, vaginal health. We're going to learn about sex. Let's talk about sex. We have Dr. Leah Spellin, a naturopathic family physician who is a great advocate about you never had an orgasm? How do you not have an orgasm? How do you have a baby and never had an orgasm? Let's talk about it. Um, and we're going to talk about contraception. And you get your opportunity um, to be in a safe and a brave space to experience this.
I love the brave space because it does take courage for women in our community to be able to talk about these things without, like, we talk about it with our sisters, right? But we don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about it with the larger community.
Yeah. It's been fun to actually plan this event. So I'm really excited that you got to talk about it today. Um, it's very true. And even today, literally, the reason I was late today was helping one of my sisters from Tonga who just needed to go to the ER. And she goes, "Do I have to have a PCP?" I go, "Yes." And her name is Dr. Spellin. And I said, "Tell them we're your PCP. We're going to take care of you. Come see us. We will hold you in that space." And you know what she said? She goes, "I'm just tired of doctors not listening to me." I
Mm-hmm.
heard it today. I've been doing this work for 15 years and we're still saying the same thing. And so forget it. Let's create our own space. You know, Lika, I think you're the one that made me feel brave enough to create a space. And then now we welcome so many people into the clinic from the PI. I love it. Every Thursday when we're talking to Pacific Islander sisters who are pregnant, that's my favorite part. When Renita said the joy of my life is working in this clinic, it really is like going to do the work when we're actually in front of our clients and our patients. It is finally a joyful place, you know. And when I see my sister who's so run down in the ER and I'm like, "Come, we will hold you and we'll take care of you." That's really what this is. And you know, Renita, thank you for saying it's self-care and self-knowledge that is going to tell you I'm not feeling good. And we tell all of our pregnant moms the biggest thing is something is you saying something doesn't feel right. The moment you say I just don't feel like myself, ding ding ding, those are red flags that tell us stop and listen. What is she saying? Something doesn't feel right. um the other thing you said is that it just takes this preventative screen. You don't have to die from cancer. You really don't. It's preventable, it's treatable, and it's scary to go in to find out, but let's make it fun. So, you know, today is just a little kiss it moment. We're going to keep it simple, sister. So, we have screenings that we're doing next Friday, February 13th at Rainier Valley Midwives. We're going to do cancer screenings, cervical screenings. If you haven't had a pap smear in a long time, this is the time to do it. We are very gentle. We will guide you through it. We can do breathing exercises. We'll explain. And then you'll realize, whoa, that wasn't so bad. And so we will help you get your cancer screenings done, and then also help you get your annual exam. So if you don't have a doctor, if you don't like your doctor, we have a whole new team of folks that you can see that are lovely and they're women, and come sit with us. Come break bread. We're going to eat because I can't do anything without eating. So there will be some food there. And then we have workshops throughout the day. Every one of the midwives are going to present a topic to you to learn more about your body and more about your V. And we're going to celebrate V Day together with other vaginas in the room. And it's going to be really fun. So, Lika is going to send out flyers. Did I send them to you? Okay.
Yeah.
She's going to post some flyers to the health board and on the Facebook group. And then we're going to post some flyers. Spaces are filling up pretty fast. The moment we talk about it, people are like, okay, sign me up for Friday. So get a spot, sign up, and then you come, you listen to a workshop, eat some food, and then you'll get called back by one of the midwives to go and do your screen. Doesn't take very long, and then you come back and you can enjoy the rest of the workshops and hang out with us. Um, that was the big thing that we wanted to go over today. Lika, is there anything that you want to leave with us today?
I did want to talk about Renita's noni treatment because
Oh yeah.
Tara was talking about it a little bit, and we also have similar things along the same lines as that, and we wanted to know more about yours. And will that be available on the 13th?
So yes, so I will be doing yoni steam treatments. So, for those who don't know, in every indigenous society, women took care of themselves throughout their cycles. So, they had rituals to cleanse after their period, um, rituals to cleanse, to recover, to come back into their body after giving birth. Also, after they've had trauma um, or a breaking from a relationship. And so that that flies through every different indigenous culture. And so, what I have learned, I've taken my lessons from herbology, indigenous remedies, also Southern midwives. So, from the American perspective and Southern perspective of herbs and herbal knowledge, using different blends of plants. And actually, steaming without herbs absolutely is cleansing. The herbs bring about the uh, the magical, spiritual, as well as intentional healing that you specifically need. And so I have different blends for whatever it is that you need. You have a tendency to have vaginal infections such as BV or yeast. Not if you're currently having an infection, but you tend to have recurrent infections. Um, for post period, for those who are having menstrual cramps really bad, for those with fibroids or cysts, um, for those who just had a baby, for those who had a traumatic experience, whether it's sexual assault, whether um, all forms of sexual assault. So whether you had a bad experience with having a pap smear or a pelvic exam or obstetric violence, um, if you've had, you associate bad things happening with your vagina, so you are disassociated. So there's all kind of spiritual experiences that happen in the physical cleansing. So we're using warm water, not boiling hot, warm water, where the herbs have been steeping and have you over a well, it's made out of box. So I like to use natural materials. I like to stay away from plastics um, because of all the BBPs, the xenoestrogens, all of that stuff. So a wooden box um, with clean water, um, herbs that have been specifically chosen for you.
How long does it normally take? And do people need to sign up and make an appointment for this?
Absolutely. So steaming sessions are 30 minutes. Um, and there is a 5 minute intake beforehand. And so we will have slots for every 30 minutes.
Do people have to register for the February 13th event, the screening?
Yeah. So go ahead and give us a call or contact us at the hello@myrvcc.org.
Okay.
But walk-ins are totally welcome. We'll be
Yeah.
able to see everybody.
Yeah.
Alinda, you
Um,
can bring like 6 of your friends. A whole van full of people.
And, this is not just for young people, because people presume that it's just for reproductive age. That even if you're postmenopausal, it is absolutely for you as well.
Yeah.
yeah, I think us older ones need a refresh.
That would
So
be nice.
we don't talk about menopause enough either. So that's another conversation, but that's not this conversation. I
Yeah.
I do have a question. You know, a lot of our people are scared about getting screenings because what if the news is bad and they don't want to deal with the news? Like they don't feel right and they know they should go in, but they're scared of the possibility of bad news. So
Yeah.
how do we comfort people? How do we encourage them to come forward through their fear?
The biggest thing is we need more information. And so the first thing we're doing is a screen. And what that does is it gives us information. People are scared because they don't know what to expect and they don't know they don't it, you're scared of the unknown. And so you got to start with here's what we're going to screen you for. There's two things. You know, here's your risk level for it. And right now, we just need to know information. And then let's say the screen does come back positive, it doesn't diagnose anything. What it does is we need more information. That's what it's telling us. So the next step is let's gather more information. And here's what I found so interesting is that as people go down the path of seeking more information, they do research and they start to see, okay, what am I looking for? What's happening? What kind of treatment am I supposed to do? And it flips the scared to real empowerment because you get to choose. You get to choose who you trust. What doctor do I want to go to? Who am I going to believe when I get this information? And it starts to instead of being scared, this is how you fight. This is how you learn more about your body. And so this is the reason most people are scared is because they just don't know what's out there. They don't know who to go to or what to do. And so this is just one step forward. And then if you get a positive or if there's something that we need to investigate more, then we have to seek more information. And so I think, as people we get really scared. And as soon as we start to learn more about why we're scared, it switches it to, I can do this. Okay, I've done hard things before. I can handle this part. And then, you know, what I want us to be as health providers and is resources for people to find the right place for you to go to. Find the right doctor, the right clinics that know what they're doing and know how to talk to people of color. And it's a very different experience when you have a doctor that's been vetted,
Mhm.
and vetted by one of us. And, and then we go through it, and people are not perfect. The hard thing is doctors have to study and practice within their four walls. They can only do what their four walls tell them that they can do. But that's the one thing I want to teach everyone, is that there's a power in information, and you get more power when you learn more. Do you work with RVM, Renita?
Yes,
She
yes.
sure does. She's one of our midwives. Yes. Hi, Mia. So good to hear from you. Mia, bring all your firefighters out here to come learn about therapies.
They're waiting for the iron, not the iron infusion. It's the vitamins.
I know. She's so
That's
ready.
what they want.
Okay, like, we are very close. Come back in 2 months and we might have it all ready. So yeah, it's on our list. You were saying, this is from Alinda. Hi, Alinda. You were saying a warm and not hot water. I grew up knowing hot steam will do a lot of help in cleaning and healing. And I also hear and found out that hot water will harm you from you. Is it safe to steam with hot water for cleansing after giving birth, or even for regular cleansing after menstruation?
So yes,
Renita?
yes. So how I was trained, and it completely makes sense, that the hot is usually coming from boiling water. Um, when we think about like the temperature of the water, and if it's too hot, that steam will actually burn you.
Mm.
Um, so which is why we gear towards having warm water. And if you need to feel, because every person is different, and if you need to feel something that's even warmer, then we can add. Um, but if it's too hot initially, you have to take time to, because we wrap you, so the steam stays in. So there's no outlet. So if it's too hot, it definitely will burn you. But you can open up the covering, and so you can let air in so that the steam can cool down some. But if you just start with warm water, you still can actually make steam from warm water versus it being boiling hot.
Thank you. These are some great questions.
Queena, you have any questions?
So Renata, like this, is it all? From what I can understand, it's not only for postpartum or for younger women only, for generally older women. They can
Mhm.
do
Absolutely. Um, there are some herbal blends for those who are perimenopause or even postmenopausal, um, that will help with that can help with vaginal dryness, hormonal balance, um, with even hot flashes. And you're thinking like, oh, we're using steam. Like, how is that going to help? But the steam, warm and hot water, actually brings out the medicinal properties in a plant. So there are specific plants that can actually help with balancing um, the hormones.
Well, it looks like Dr. Tara has to go. We thank you for your time,
I'm
Tara.
so sorry.
Yeah, and Renita, did you want to stay on or do you have to go as well?
I can stay on.
Because we have like 6 more minutes.
I
Yes.
can stay
And we
on.
get
Okay.
started late. So,
Perfect.
but
Thank you all so much. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Tara.
We'll see you later.
Bye, Tara. See you tomorrow.
bye. Okay.
I'm trying to get out. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Okay.
there she goes.
So I have one more
Oh,
question.
oh, you
So
have a question?
yes, there are some of our mothers back home during menopause, like they feel bloated. Like,
Hmm.
is there will steam treatment help because they feel bloated and tired and all that?
Yes. Steam can actually, yes, steam can help. Steam can also be a complementary um, therapy as well. So oftentimes, taking a look at, so as we transition through different age and phases of our life, how we ate as a teenager is not how we should be eating in menopause. We have different dietary needs, and our bodies respond differently to different foods. So even people who eat clean, they'll say like they take nettle tea. So nettle tea, stinging nettles, high in iron, magnesium. It's great for allergies. It's great for part of a menstrual blend. But finding that once they were postmenopausal, they actually had a negative side effect from drinking it. So, you know, so one of the things is that, food is medicine, plant is medicine. And the thing about medicine is that you're not supposed to take it every day. You're supposed to take medicine to help you come back into balance. Um, so,
Oh, moderation.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, see, I'm over here drinking the LT thinking, why am I not better? I'm overdoing it on the nettle tea. So okay, that's a great. Yeah, I feel like you should tell us more information that we're doing wrong.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because now I feel foolish.
You should not feel foolish.
I thought it
Um,
was like every day. Yeah.
yeah. Well, when you think about it, they market on social media these, oh, this is the superfood of the moment, and then everybody ODs on that
Hmm.
particular thing, right? Um, and so one of the things we're actually going to focus on V Day is about staying in your body. When you stay in your body, you're able to recognize what is good for you and what is not. Um, and so also trusting yourself, trusting your
Hmm.
intuition, and not only for food, for relationships, your womb, which is considered the fifth vital organ,
Hmm.
is going to tell you a person a mile away is not the person I should be around. And oftentimes we don't listen to that. So even sometimes the physical ailments we have is not necessarily the food. Food is not the enemy. Sometimes it's your body's reaction from the relationships you're in, that job you're in, the things that you're allowing to happen in your life without speaking up. So it's all of those things. It's mind, body, spirit.
Mind, body, spirit, right?
Yeah.
I'm just learning
Sorry,
up.
my little one ran in through the room. Sorry, Queena, go ahead.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm just learning a lot. Like you could be taking the right medicine or the food, but it has to do with yourself. You feel
Yeah.
peace within yourself. In order for things to work, like you have to feel peace within yourself. It's your mind and your body together.
Yes. For an example, and I hope she doesn't mind because I'm the one who's telling it. But Dr. Spellin, she gave me some medication for elevated blood pressure, and she was like, "Yeah, this is temporary. Like, you're not supposed to be on blood pressure medicine long." And she only gave me 30 days. She says the real issue is we need to deal with your constant state of anxiety because eventually the anxiety is going to override the blood pressure medication and you're going to be right where you started from. So that so dealing with what is the real issue, not the symptom.
Wait, so you did 30 days of blood pressure medicine and then got off?
Hmm.
I'm on blood pressure
I tr-
medicine. Nobody told me this.
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Of course they did. Yeah. But anyway, what were you gonna say?
Because transition to anti-anxiety meds, we focused on meditation. I also practice Buddhism. So increasing my chanting, which is another form of meditation. So doing the mind body practicing, increasing my exercise, but also um, Saturday I will be 49, and I'm at the age in my life where I'm like, F all of this. I don't want to deal with it. Leave me alone. Why? And so I am learning to speak up my no's. If it's
That,
not a hell yes,
yes,
it's a no.
yes, yes, yes. Same. That was my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I think all the yeses are stressing me out.
Yes.
It looks like Alinda's asking if douching is safe for cleaning.
I'm sorry. It's
It looks
douchey.
like Alinda in the chat is asking about douching.
Oh, please.
Mm,
If I
I
could
know,
say
girl.
one thing,
Mm.
douching is a no, no, no. There are very few times medicinally when having an infection, if you're under the guise of a naturopath or holistic practitioner, um, that will tell you to douche for
Hmm.
a certain time period. But normal douching is actually doing the opposite of what you think it's doing. It's not really cleaning, it's masking. And it's throwing off your pH. So you get into a cycle of now you have gotten rid of all of your good bacteria. So now the bad bacteria grows. Now your pH is off. So that can be increase of odors that you're not used to.
Mm,
It could be any forms of vaginitis. Um, so the thing is the vagina, which is inside. They like to talk
mhm.
about the whole area as if it's a vagina. So vagina is the canal
Yeah.
where the baby comes out, where the blood comes out. It is a self-cleansing organ. If
Mhm,
there is smell coming from there, either it's the cervix. They don't talk about. There's two major cervical infections that are not really talked about, and oftentimes when you have those cervical infections, that's really where the smell is coming from. If it's coming from the inside of you, um, but generally, the vagina is self cleansing. It doesn't need a douche. It doesn't
mm-mm,
need soap. It's the vulva, which is the outside. So your labia majora, the labia minora, the clitoral hood, like pulling back the clitoral hood, because sweat and things just stay in there as well. Um, all of that on the outside just needs, um, really just needs water with a soft washcloth,
Mm-hmm.
but if need be, a sensitive type of soap. Um, Nothing with fragrances, perfumes, all of that eventually gets into the vaginal canal, causing that pH imbalance. So when I talk about yoni steaming,
Mm-hmm.
um, cleansing, it's not the cleansing of the vagina per se. The steam is actually going in to the cervix, into the uterus, helping to loosen things so that it comes out. So it's not about your vagina is dirty. Your vagina is not dirty.
We have a question from Liel. What signs tell you a woman is in balance or needs deeper support? I like the deeper support question.
Absolutely. Um, in balance physically, spiritually, mentally.
I think down there.
Okay.
I think
Absolutely.
female wise, yeah.
Now, a person who's in balance is self-aware.
Mm,
Um, it it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't mean that um, they don't get infection. It might have, as a matter of fact, sickness
mm-hmm.
is not a negative thing. Sickness is your body going back to balance. Sickness is your body getting
Oh,
rid of bacteria, getting rid of viruses. Um, so a person who's in balance actually recognizes, oh, my body needs help getting back into balance.
mm,
So reaches out, speaks up, asks questions.
right.
A person who needs deeper support, you know that they're not, it's the things that they're not saying,
Mm-hmm.
even if they um, come into clinic. It's the things they're not saying, the things that you're picking up, you're doing testing, and you're like, why didn't they tell us
Yeah.
this is happening?
Yeah.
You sense that there is a fear. You sense that they haven't been supported in their life. So they don't know how to speak up. And so it's spiritual and intuitive knowing
Mm-hmm.
when I meet a client to know, yeah, you have felt that nobody supported in your life. You have felt that nobody listened to you.
Mm,
Um, and so it is at that point, it is for me to prove myself to you that
mm-hmm.
I'm a person who's going to listen to you,
Right.
um, help you make a shared decision about your life and your health, and also just be there and whatever that looks like for you.
Sounds like someone that helps you get your glow back. Okay, we are a little bit over time, and I do have another meeting to run to. A meeting to run to. This is community talking. So I would like to end it on, excuse me, how can we support each other in prioritizing our own health and screenings? Because we do, women tend to neglect themselves, and women of color especially, because you're busy taking care of the village. So how
Yeah.
do we help our sisters prioritize themselves and to get those screenings and to not let fear rule?
You go grab your sister and say, we're going together.
Buddy system.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Linda
Absolutely.
is great at the buddy system.
Yes. And what I have loved being at RVM is seeing PI families where it's the mother coming in with her daughter. That is
Ooh.
the beautiful thing. And then while mother is there, mother thinks
Mhm.
she's just there for her daughter.
Right.
But by the end, we're like, Mama, what's going on with you?
Right. I'm sure she's had a lot of neglect,
Yeah.
self-neglect, and community neglect. And I want to highlight this comment because Alinda is right. Thank you, Renita. We appreciate your time, and we would actually like to plan more talk stories with you. So let me know if you have a subject you would like to talk about, and let's help our community get their glow back. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Renita. Thank you,
Thank
Queena.
you.
Thank you, everybody. Have
Yes.
a great
Thank you
week.
for inviting me.
Thank you. Thank you for
Bye,
coming.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.